You will always fall to the level of your standards. Remember that. So if you want to get better at life, if you want to train this thing here, you have to raise your level of standards. We learn best from our mistakes, and it's only a mistake if we don't learn from it.
Hey. Yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. Oh.
Hey guys, Brendon Giebel here, and in this video I'm going to show you 9 ways that you can become mentally stronger and you can strengthen this part of your mind so you can do more, you can be more, and you can ultimately have more. Now, in my life, I'm about 102 days into a 75 hard challenge as the time of filming this, depends when you see this. And there's a lot of things that I do. I obviously have done multiple challenges throughout my life as well. But one thing that a lot of people ask me about is the mental strength. Like, I am ruthless. I do the same things all the time. I don't need to worry about anything else. My mind is sharp, my mind is strong. A lot of people look up to my discipline and they're like, they admire that part of me. And so I think the biggest thing is understanding that, although I'm going to give you some things to do right away, it's going to just take a little bit of practice, right? It's going to just take a little bit of time for it to come into life for you. Unfortunately, I wish we could. I wish I could just click my fingers and do the work for you, and all of a sudden you'd be super tough mentally. But it's just going to take a little bit of constant action to be able to do that. So step number 1, or the first thing you can do, is master your emotions. Now, this is a topic where people go, yeah, master emotions, cool, whatever, let's just control them. Controlling is not mastering them. Mastering them is first understanding them. Second is knowing what their purpose is, why you're here. And then the third is being able to let them go. So we can't control what's happening. Sometimes in some reactions, in some situations, we can't control. But what we can control is how long that stays there. Now, emotion only lasts 90 seconds if you don't resist it. So if you just let an emotion be there, it will just dissolve and you'll go on to the next one. One of the best things to say is, what am I feeling right now? And say, I am feeling this. So say, for example, I'm frustrated. I'll be like, what emotion am I feeling? I am feeling frustrated. And then that's allowing it. And if you do this more and more often, you'll be able to understand that. Now, also, just to let you know a few little things, if you have frustration or anger, it's coming from an unrealistic expectation. So if you're feeling frustrated, it's because you're expecting something to happen that's not happening, like a red light. We get frustrated at red lights because we go, I shouldn't be getting a red light right now. Too bad, we are. So that's the meaning and the purpose of frustration. So as I said, if you can understand what you're feeling first by just asking yourself, acknowledge it by saying, I'm feeling this, and then whatever the purpose of that thing is, and you might have to do a little Google search to find out what it is. But then you can start to master that. But start straight away. You don't have to become a master to then be able to do it. You become a master from learning this, right? And just going to take a bit of constant and conscious effort first. Super important. If you're watching this video right now and you're like, this seems like a lot of work, it seems hard, I'm not built like this. Bullshit. That's just a bullshit story you're telling yourself. You've got to train. You can either train or you can play, and there's no in between. Now, we train men like you every single day. Men who want to take their life to the next level. Men who want to recreate themselves. Men who want to step up as the leader of their family, of their businesses, of their communities, of their companies. And so if you resonate with any of this, down below, what you're going to see is a description of this YouTube video. And inside of that, there's going to be a link. Click on that link, enter your name, enter your phone number, enter your email address, and my team will personally reach out to you, showing you the 4 steps and the 4 stages that can help you get to where you want to be. So if you're serious about recreating your life, if you're serious about stepping up into the man that you know that you can be, managing your life, managing everyone else's life because you manage your own, then let's do it. I'd love to see you on the inside. Number 2, set new standards. So we don't always get our goals, but we get our standards. So a lot of people, they try and set goals or targets and like, this is what I want to work towards. But then they fall to their level of standards. So maybe you might have a really big goal, but your personal standards are very low. So have higher standards for yourself. Maybe your standard is you're going to set for that you're going to work out every single day, move your body every single day. You're going to eat super clean every single day, or multiple times a week, or have, set some times when you don't. Keep a diet. Maybe it is like setting new standards for your personal life in terms of relationships, boundaries, set the standards there. You will always fall to the level of your standards, remember that. So if you want to get better at life, if you want to train this thing here, you have to raise your level of standards. And then whatever goals you're achieving will fall to that standard, right? So the higher you raise your standards, the more goals and things you will achieve because of that. And so number 3, making and reviewing a list means accountability. So you can't track what you don't measure. You know, how would you do that? Like if you're trying to understand or maybe track your weight physically, or whether it's, you know, body fat percentage or whether it's just strict scale weight, you can't, if you're not measuring it, you can't track it. Like you have to go, well, this is where I was, this is where I am now, and this is where I want to be. And you have to track that, because if you don't, you won't know. But that also keeps you accountable. So, you know, if you have a business, track the numbers in the business, track the number of sales, track the number of outputs, track whatever it is. But you need to be able to measure that, and that's also going to keep you accountable. You know, I might track a number of calls that I'm doing, or I might track, you know, the close rates, or we might track, you know, the income or whatever. And that means that I've got to review it. And it also keeps me accountable of like, well, I haven't made my target yet today, so I've got to do more, right? That's the power in doing that. And then you're just going to start building that discipline by doing that as well. Small steps, right? When it comes to training this thing up here. Now we're on to number 4. Focus on making yourself happy first. This is a key point. How many times do you hear someone say, I'll be happy when? Or once I get this thing, I'll be happy. Once I'm married, once we get this house, once I get this job, you know, once I get over this little hurdle, I'll be happy. No. Be happy first. Be, do, have. You've got to be the person to have the things. You've got to be happy to do things that a happy person would do to have the things that you want. So focus on just being happy. There's no reason for you to be unhappy. You know, people, I always think back to the Holocaust and the concentration camps. And there's a few people that, you know, obviously had written books and stuff about it, and they came out of it and they were just like, they got through it. It was like they found peace in there. So if they can find peace in that, then we can find happiness in our life, right? Easily. Number 5, no risk equals no reward. Of course, you know, you've got to take risks, but the thing is these risks are not gambling. You're not gambling to try and get a reward, which a lot of people do because they don't have any other options. They don't know anything else. So you've got to make risks and take risks, but they've just got to be calculated. You know, people might think that going into a business is risky, but it's calculated. No one just, you know, kind of walks out and goes, oh, I'm going to do this. It's like there's things behind there, and if they do, they're probably going to fail, right? So if you want a better life, maybe you've got to just start going and taking more risks as well, which then is going to make you more risk averse, and you're going to be able to handle those ups and downs and those instabilities and stuff that go on when you take risks and you step out and actually start creating freedom for yourself. Number 6, we will all make mistakes. We have in the past and we will now. But here's the thing, it's only a mistake if you don't learn from it. Let me say that again, it's only a mistake if you don't learn from it. If you're writing this down, write that down. Because you need to make mistakes to learn from it. We learn best from our failures. When there's an airline crash, they dive into it, they do a full investigation and they find out what happened. That was a mistake that they analyze, and they use that to better the safety for airlines and for air travel. Whereas they don't analyze every single plane that landed. Like imagine every single plane that landed, what would they analyze and go, oh yeah, you know, everything was fine. So we learn best from our mistakes, and it's only a mistake if we don't learn from it. So if you feel like you've done some mistakes, go back and find how it's helped you, how it served you, and how it's going to push you to become a better man, and you'll be much better off. And then you'll understand there's no mistakes, it's just feedback, it's just lessons. Number 7, small wins make for big gains. Think about this. We just stack the small wins. We stack the small wins. Imagine if you play cricket, or if you wanted to play cricket, and you just went out and you tried to smack a 6 every single ball. You know, you'd probably miss a lot, you'd probably get out a lot, because you're just trying to like hit that, have that big hit the whole time. Whereas if there was that one person that went out and every time they just hit singles, every single ball, they just hit a single. you would never be able to get them out, and they would be in for the whole time, and they would just slowly get those little wins, and they would probably be one of the biggest scorers because they just have those small wins. You know, some people, of course, in the game of cricket, some people will smash it and they'll do really well, but it'll be hit and miss. So the more consistent you are, those small little wins, just focus on that. Little daily habits, little daily disciplines will compound. Compound interest is one of the 8th wonders of the world, as some people have said. So if we understand that, let's use that to our advantage. Let's build those small wins that are then going to compound. So 1 + 1 won't equal 2, it'll equal 3 when you compound it like that. So just focus on small wins. Today, what is the win that I'm achieving? What do I need to do today to push myself in a new direction? Number 7, neutralize your past. Now, what do I mean by this? All of the things that are stored, or we have stored energy in our past, whether it's beliefs, whether it's emotions, whether it's patterns, programs, subconscious behaviors, whether it's limitations that we picked up. All of those things, they can be neutralized. So rather than just living there, repeating it, and you can't forget about it because it's in the unconscious mind, it's always there. But neutralizing it means going and working through it and allowing it to just be neutral. There's a law of polarity, universal law, yin yang, hot, cold, up, down. You can't have one without the other. So when it comes to, you know, evenly balanced, that's neutral, right? So those events, we need to neutralize them out. So you can do that by finding how it's helped you, how it served you, what's the good in it, what's come from that. You can only connect the dots looking back. And once you find those dots and you see how it's actually here to help you and it served you and everything happens for a reason, you can be at peace with it, and that's it. You don't have to be glad that it happened, but you don't have to be like, oh man, that was the worst thing ever. You're just neutral, being it is what it is, right? That's the key one. And lastly, you have a choice here to celebrate your wins and how far you've come, or you can contemplate your mistakes. And so many people do that. What you focus on expands. If you want to focus on all the wins and celebrate them, you're going to get more wins to celebrate. If you want to focus on the mistakes that you've made and contemplate them and dissect them and really go deep into them and beat yourself up about them. Now it's good to, as I said before, to learn from them, but if you're learning from your mistakes, you're focusing on learning, right? Whereas if you're contemplating and dwelling on the mistakes, you're focusing on dwelling. So celebrate your wins, celebrate how far you've come. Track yourself weekly. Give yourself 30 days and just go, right, I'm gonna just set new standards for myself. I'm gonna master my emotions. I'm gonna track, make a list of all the things that I'm gonna track, and I'm gonna keep myself accountable. I'm gonna focus on making myself happy first. If there's any risks that may be out, I'm gonna take a calculated risk to push myself into a new level. Maybe it's investing in a program, investing in myself. The best investment is always in yourself. Maybe it's, you know, just chasing those small wins every single day, doing those things. Look at the mistakes, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can it help me? And then celebrate how far you've come. So let me know how you go with this video. I'd love to hear it. Drop in the comments if you have any questions or if we can help you in any way, shape or form. I got your back for life. Let's go. You made it to the end of the video and you are one of the top 1%ers who get to this point. Now, if you're sick and tired of not growing to the level that you want, if you're sick and tired of being the same spot that you were 12 months ago, if you're like, you know what, I've got so much more to offer, but I don't really know how to get there, then if that is you, down below, book in your call with one of my team. Just enter your phone, enter your email, and enter your number. And hey, look, we can't reach you if you enter details that are wrong. So enter your right details. We'll be able to reach out to you. We'll show you the 4 stages that we take men through that's gonna completely rip you out of your current situation and push you in a new direction that where you want to go. I will push you as hard as I can to get that outcome for you because I know how much the life is good on the other side of it when we get out of the shit, when we get onto where we want to go. So click the button and I'll see you on the other side.